Welcome to the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast with your host, Ed Rekindle.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever and wherever you may be listening to us, you have your ears locked into the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast. My name is Ed Rekindle. I'm your host for these festivities. And not joining me, as not always, is the muscle of the podcast, future wrestling champion and voice of all of Southeast Asia. He is not here. He would have been Jaime. Also joining me is my tag team partner, my arch nemesis, my very best friend. You know him from all around the internet, including Twitch TV, but you can only find his wrestling stuff right here on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Danny Bananas.
What's up, Ed? How are you, man? Happy New Year's to you. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the cordial stuff.
I guess we just don't celebrate Festivus anymore. That's fine. That's cool. You know, it will be in my griping session. All right.
There's only one Festivus Maximus that I celebrate.
Very well. We'll party around your Festivus bush later. All right. We have not done a show in a while due to the holidays. Dan having sand in a very intimate location. And Jaime, being Jaime. So
Southeast Asia.
Yeah, he is on assignment tonight doing something. We're not really sure. Anyway, it's just going to be me and Dan for you guys, and we have one hell of a show for you. We're going to talk about just about everything that's going on. Daniel, give me your one big thing of the show.
I got a timer that went off at midnight Pacific Standard Time. There's a new company in town, Ed.
Do you elaborate, maybe? Fill us in?
It's called All Elite Wrestling.
Oh my. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Not gonna.
Hold on. Have you not paid attention to this news at all?
I have. Cody Rhodes started his own wrestling thing, and we're gonna talk about that actually as soon as we get done with all of this. It's a topic on the rundown. Let's just leave it at that. We'll get to it here in a minute. My one big thing is we're back doing another show. Granted, this could be the only show we do before the Royal Rumble. We'll see. We'll see how the schedules line up. But, hey, at least we're doing a show. It's the first one of 2019, which officially kicks off the third calendar year that the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast has recorded a show. Albeit we are missing the man that created the show and the guy who's missed all but one show. But I digress. All right. Daniel, it's the new year. We're 48 hours in. What are your New Year's resolutions?
Find myself.
Have you tried a picture?
Slightly, but no. On a more serious note, I just need to figure out who I am again. I'm gonna get a little personal here. Not something I normally do, but just gotta figure myself out again. Yeah, I mean that's my resolution. That and to read a couple books and that my friends bought me a couple years ago. Maybe buy a book, Ed. Maybe I'll buy a book on Amazon. Yeah,
I hear there's this fantastic writer. Has a few books.
Writer.
Did better than you. Has a few books on wrestling. Maybe you need to look him up. It's me. Just type it into Amazon. It's pretty good stuff there. My New Year's resolution is to do this more often. We planned 4 shows. Not one of them has happened. Me and Adam are supposed to do a watch-along. We're supposed to do Wrestling Jeopardy. We'll get to them. Plus, we still have Wrestle Fakias to go through. We got 3 of those in the works. We're going to get to them. That's my resolution, is to be more involved with this show.
That's part of me finding myself as well, is just getting back to my roots, right? Like, I can think back to when I was the happiest and when I was a great time. It was working for that dreaded company, and he who not be named. Just really...
Just to clarify, we're not referring to TNA.
No, we are not returning to TNA.
Okay, just wanted to throw that out there.
But basically, just getting back to what I enjoyed in life, because I feel like I really drifted off from that over the past 6 to 8 months. Wrestling was something that really turned me around at one point. So Hoping it can do it again.
Very well. Oh, by the way, hi Gore. Hi Gore. Hi Nick. How you guys doing? This is still happening. Just want to say hi. Anyway, we do have one big thing to talk about, and unfortunately, it's a sad thing. The wrestling community as a whole lost somebody today, and that's Mean Gene Okerlund, who at the age of 73 will not be with us anymore. So Hulk Hogan is going to have to cut his own promos, and WWE Confidential will be revived, hopefully with somebody else. Dan, what are your thoughts on Mean Gene?
Slightly surprising. I don't think he had any known big health issues. Am I wrong?
I mean, he's 73 years old, and yeah, did you watch Legends House? Dude looked
No,
rough.
I didn't.
Yeah, by the way, strongly recommended. Excellent stuff. Roddy Piper, it's fantastic. But yeah,
I know he wasn't in the best shape and everything, but I was a little surprised. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe not surprised. Just kind of more along the lines of like what it was, you know.
Yeah,
it's definitely sad. Mean Gene, you know, when you think of voices of wrestling, yeah, he's one of the first ones that come to mind.
Yeah, well, the thing about it, you know who sang the national anthem at the very first WrestleMania?
Wasn't it Mean Gene?
It was Mean Gene Okerlund. That's correct. That may or may not have been, or will be, a question on Wrestling Jeopardy, which we will get to, fingers crossed, next week. We're just going to leave it at that. All right, Daniel. Let's talk. You wanted to find yourself. We all came together. We are a conglomeration of former guys to cover Impact Wrestling. There's been some stuff going on in Impact Wrestling. For one, Trevor Lee is now a free agent.
I didn't know that.
Yes, as of today, his contract over. Impact obviously has moved on from him, and honestly, I think for the better. Never really liked that North Carolina thing he had going or something. I don't know. I didn't like it. Is this a big loss for Impact, or can they move on from him?
I think they can move on. I think Trevor needs to move on too. I think whether he goes to AEW or WWE, he's definitely going to have offers out there because he is one of the most loved, hated wrestlers, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does, yes. All right, we also have a little, we're saying goodbye somewhere else as well. I'm watching my last Impact Wrestling maybe ever tomorrow night because I don't get their new station here in wherever I'm at. Impact on Pop is done after tomorrow night. How do you feel about this, Daniel?
I still get Impact. I will need to set the DVR to record it, but I don't think this is good for business, especially with there being another new game in town.
Well, now to be fair, I'm not sure that. They haven't had a show yet. You can't. But Impact's going back to the Asylum. They got 2 scheduled TV tapings in the next, I think, 2 weeks. I'm excited for Homecoming. It looks to be a pretty stacked card.
Yeah, but they're now on a network, right? So AEW's in the talks with Turner, with Time Warner.
Okay.
So they're talking about going on TBS or TNT possibly. So you're talking about putting a brand. Funny, right? Why did WCW fall?
It wasn't
because they didn't want wrestling on their stations anymore.
There was, yes, that was a major reason, but there was way more than that.
Right, which, yes, I agree, there was way more than that. But how the times have changed, right? Mm-hmm. Now they're in talks with this. It also could have something to do with the fact that the Jaguars owner's son is a financial backer for this, so maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah. One of the cons that owns the Jaguars is putting up $100 million.
Okay, I don't believe that figure one bit. No,
I do.
no, I don't. This is more. I said I wouldn't rag on indie wrestling. I said I wouldn't do it. But if he's putting up, that's WWE money, $100 million.
Bro, they got that oil money. That's like chump change.
They're. I guarantee you, it's not $100 million because they're saving.
I guarantee you it is.
No, it's not because they're saving money to move to London. Because the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be the London Union Jacks. 3 years, book it. Just saying it's going to happen.
I am telling you.
I'm telling you $100 million.
I've seen multiple reports that say $100 million.
And you know what? I can get on Reddit and I can have 5 different accounts and I can make multiple reports of whatever the hell I want.
No. Multiple valid reports from
Twitter?
Verified insiders in the wrestling industry.
Where?
On Twitter.
Exactly. Boy, it would be so easy to just make a meme and share it and get 5 friends to share it. Before long, a Twitter account that doesn't exist now has a screenshot of a tweet that is going viral because, oh my god, Cody Rhodes is involved and this is going to be the greatest thing ever. Ah! When they're going to be a glorified indie promotion. They're going to be Ring of Honor with money.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you. I mean, yes.
You're talking about names like JR being involved. You're talking about guys like Jericho. Like you're talking about.
What do Jericho and JR have involved? Or what's the word I'm looking for?
Common.
Thank you. They were both part of WCW. This is gonna fail. Turner or not.
You know whether or not this fails, right? I don't want to see it fail because I think it will do nothing but help the business.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with you. But I don't see it.
Okay, I mean, I am not willing to rag on it yet, right? I believe their first show is going to be Double or Nothing, which is like a second All In.
Okay, and you see, that's the thing. They are trying to go all in all at once and go right to the top instead of building.
Or that could be where they determine their champions and storylines can progress from there.
I'm just saying, you got to start somewhere, and you don't shoot for the stars because it's a long way down if you miss.
I don't disagree with you. I think they could be setting themselves up for failure because of the way that because of All In, right? They could be setting themselves up for failure because as much as you might want to disagree, All In was a huge success.
I'm not, believe me, not saying that either. But what I'm saying, I mean, it's brilliant. It really is because you think about it. Cody Rhodes is probably more beloved than just about anybody anywhere going today. I mean, he's right up there with, I mean, just name somebody. Braun Strowman, I guess, is logical. A comparison, but Cody would blow him out of the damn water if Cody showed up in January to the Royal Rumble. But I mean, it's genius for them because they're capitalizing on the popularity that they have now with the Young Bucks and everything else. They're using All In as a springboard to launch this new company that's going to get viewers no matter what, when, or where because it's the anti-WWE. But we've seen...
I think there's some truth to what you're saying there.
But we've seen companies that have been the anti-WWE. And you know what happens? Those companies fall right back in line with them.
Do you know what I was thinking, right? Because you and I have the conversation all the time that the Attitude Era wasn't great. You don't think the Attitude Era was you think we are in a better state of wrestling now.
Oh, no. Now, that never came out of my mouth.
Okay. Correct me.
I think the athleticism is better now. For a television product, absolutely the Attitude Era was better.
And do you know what I've been watching a lot of recently? It's just really been like a lot of YouTube videos though. Is like surprise show-ups, right? And I think that's what I missed the most about that era. Is you really didn't know who was going to show up on WWE or WCW
Right.
Within the next, it could literally change week to week. You never knew who was going to be where.
Yeah,
and I think that's one thing that I miss the most about it, and this is what excites me about AEW, is there's going to be guys that are going to leave WWE to go do this, because there's probably not going to be merchandise deals for these guys right away, right? So they're going to be able to sell their own merch. They can probably have a lighter schedule and make somewhat close to the same amount of money that they make with WWE if it's guys like the Revival, for example.
No. You see, you're going down a rabbit hole that I don't think we need to go down just yet.
Who's leaving?
Yeah, when that happens, and believe me, there's a spot on this rundown where we're going to talk about the NXT call-ups, and there's a question in there that I have for you as far as whose places are they taking and who's leaving. And we got a huge discussion on that may turn into its own show. But we don't need to discuss, hey, the Revival's leaving. Hey, the Good Brothers are leaving. Hey, Daniel Bryan is leaving. The Miz is leaving. Pick a person is leaving to go do this and this and this. EC3 is going to wind up, facing Magnus for the AEW World Championship. Which, by the way, I'd love to watch that match. I think I've seen it before. I'm just saying, though, we can pace ourselves. We don't need to go all in. We don't need to go double or nothing on all of this coverage.
That's fine. We can take our time with it. You're good.
We can dial it back. All right. Let's move on.
Dial it back,
Let's move on. So since the last we talked, there have been some just massive news. For one, there are no more general managers. It's the McMahons are in charge. How do you feel about that?
So far, I like it.
Do you like Vince getting smacked around by AJ Styles?
Always. Always I'm going to enjoy that.
Are you excited to see the beautiful Stephanie McMahon again?
Are you not?
I didn't say I wasn't. Seeing Triple H back, seeing him.
I like that. I think that's actually one of my favorite things, is seeing Triple back on TV. Because you never know when he's going to end up in that feud, and I don't care who it is. Tripp could make a feud with Kurt Hawkins
good. You're gonna have to sell me on that, because
I mean, I can't right now. Give me a day and I will.
I'm not sure anybody. I mean, now granted, Edge made Kurt Hawkins good, but Kurt Hawkins also had Zack Ryder with it, so let's not forget the Edge heads. Glory be to Edge. Anyway, yeah. I dig it. Especially the interaction he had with the 3 top women on SmackDown the other day.
Yes, and that's another reason why, is he can do a lot of this talking that he does compared to like what Vince and Steph would do. It's a little bit more believable coming from Tripp, because we saw him in the ring night in and night out for so many years.
The promo he did with Seth Rollins on Raw.
Great.
It was beautiful.
It was great.
It referenced the past. It reminded us he was in charge. It reminded us that Seth Rollins doesn't like him, and he doesn't really like Seth Rollins, and it furthered something that they didn't need to do it, but because they did it, it became that much better.
Yep.
I'm a fan of this. Granted, we get more, Baron Corbin, who's, if anybody's going to leave the company and getting pushed out, being made a job or two, Baron Corbin's got to be example number 1. But and there's plenty others. Like I said, get to that later. We don't get to see him no more. Sadly, we probably won't see Paige anymore.
That is one I'm really upset about. I wish they would have, I hope they give her some type of authority role in a sense.
Where? NXT?
That's the thing. I don't know. Maybe NXT. Maybe this women's division becomes something of its own, and Paige somehow finds a way in that. Because she was better than Debray. She was better than Kurt. She's better. She in my opinion, she's top 5, one of the best general managers that they ever had on any show.
Okay, just for shits and gigs. Who's the top 5? John Laurinaitis.
Yes.
Teddy Long.
No.
Holla, 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 player. Vicky Guerrero.
Yes. Character.
Let's see, who else? William Regal.
He's in a class of his own.
Mick Foley.
No.
Shawn Michaels.
No.
Eric Bischoff.
Yes.
The Coach.
No.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No.
Have there really been this many? The anonymous Raw general manager.
Yes.
Oh my god, I missed that so much. Michael Cole. I've received an email. Oh, just love it. Love it. Anyway, so, okay. Speaking of things that happened on SmackDown.
Do you agree or disagree with me? Based off the look that you gave me, I don't think you agree with John Laurinaitis.
I don't know. Like, Kurt Angle was bad. Daniel Bryan was bad. Boy, it's so rough.
But, like, you can't disagree with the fact, like, Paige top 5.
No, I don't think so. Like,
you don't?
I put
What's your top 5 then?
Well, like, I agree with you on Regal, 100%. Vicky's probably second. Bischoff's third. Say what you up until they did that whole angle with him getting married. Teddy Long. I mean, come on, the dude fit the role. Mick Foley is ahead of Paige.
I can't put Mick ahead of Paige. Mick was very cringe.
But he was
very
cringe
tough to
in
watch.
like in the greatest of ways. And I'll tell you what, very underrated, and not a lot of people remember it. But we forgot about Sergeant Slaughter, Gorilla Monsoon, Jack Tunney, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was the commissioner of the WWE at the very beginning of the Attitude Era. Tyson and Austin was made because of Shawn Michaels. I mean, it's good stuff. Speaking about what happened on SmackDown, okay. Somebody came back. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. I know you've never seen this guy because nobody can see him. But he's won something 16 times. I'm not really sure. John Cena came back. Do you know who John Cena is, Dan? Not sure. Do you know?
I've never seen him.
Okay. He's good at what he does. Okay. He came back, and I must say the promo between him and Becky, bro,
was fantastic.
The fact that, I mean, are the Bella Twins still employed by the WWE?
I don't know.
Because, good gravy, did they rip on her. Actually, it was more or less just ripping on John Cena, but still, like, talking about bringing real life into wrestling. I loved it. I mean, and John Cena kind of rhymed at the beginning, making us think that maybe he's
a doctor again?
I hope so. What was his degree in? I can't remember.
I think it was, it's something along the lines of, like, word life. This is basic thugonomics.
Which, by the way, is on my workout playlist. I'm just saying, it spits fire.
I'm actually about to download it on Apple Music right now.
What'd you think? You liked it, right?
I did. It was actually good to see Cena for a change.
And how about the match he had with Vega and...
Oh, fantastic. Here's the thing.
Go on.
Besides Vega just being extremely hot, and I don't know why, but over the course of like the past 5 months, Becky Lynch has just increasingly became more attractive.
The broken face, but go on.
That match was amazing, and I really hope that Cien Almas and Vega, to an extent, get a push somehow, somewhat.
El Igolo, favorite guy, by the way. He's been my favorite guy to come up from NXT since, a long, long time. I can't even think of, maybe Finn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
wish he would have got the push that Finn got right off the bat.
Well, to be fair, he's only been on the main roster maybe 3-4 months now. You got to give him...
Yeah, but Finn won the title, first 2 months?
Finn was also an NXT champion for how long?
True. That's very true.
You know, and Almas, to his credit, I don't think he's as good as Black. I don't think he's as...
You don't think so?
I mean, he's good. And he's good in the ring, but a lot of that is his Mexican seasoning.
I don't know why I would like to see this, but I would love to see a Mysterio Cien Almas feud for the title, not just what they already done, but like a legit feud to where we get them for a good half hour, 45 minutes in the ring, going back and forth for the title. I would love to see that. I would also love to see them as a tag team. There's a lot of luchadors out there that I would love to actually see get the work, and that's one thing I'm excited for. I hate to keep going back to it, I honestly do, but that's something I'm excited for with AEW. Is the fact that we might get to see some of these guys that have great in-ring work work the ring a lot more and build stories that way than we do in the WWE.
Now, do you know where you can see a lot of this luchador AAA Conan mentored talent right now? Or actually tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on the final Impact on Pop, because they do have a working agreement, something that could hurt the AEW. But going back to what you said, I completely, 1,000,000% agree with you. Selena Vega comes out while Rey Mysterio's in the ring cutting a promo on somebody, Randy Orton. You know, Vega comes out and she's running down Rey Mysterio. You're no longer the face of Lucha Libre Wrestling in the WWE. That belongs to, Almas, whatever. And then Mysterio goes to say something. Almas rips the microphone out of Vega's hand, starts saying something to him in Spanish. Mysterio answers in Spanish. The crowd's not really sure what's going on unless they do it in some place like Texas or California, or maybe even San Diego. Maybe that's what it is. It'll be a welcome home for Rey Mysterio in San Diego. And then those two start feuding in Spanish, and then they start coming to the ring, and then you see the Lucha House Party attack Almas, and then it's like just going from there, and you got Mysterio and the Lucha House Party, and then Almas, and maybe his hired guns, who he pays in stakes, the heavy machinery, maybe they come out. That's how you work them into the main roster, and you have these big, brooding guys against these itty-bitty Mexican guys, and that's your feud. Going into WrestleMania, 6-man tag. Would you watch it?
Yep.
I would too. All right, let's move on. Let's stay on SmackDown. We have a new United States champion. It's... What day is it, Dan?
Rusev Day.
And scene. All right. Not bad. Aiden English wouldn't be disappointed. I mean, we now know who the U.S. champion is, because, once again, like for the last 6 months, forgot Shinsuke Nakamura was a part of the WWE roster.
Yes.
He's in a feud with Rusev. It seems like it could be something. Not my favorite thing in the world, but at least he's not using his forearm to the Rusev family jewels.
I don't think Lana would appreciate that very much.
I mean, let's talk about Lana and Rusev for a second. The WWE seems to be pushing them toward a breakup, right? You have the accidental bumping of things, and it seems like the seeds are being sown. Am I wrong there? Do you see that's what's happening?
Yeah, it's very interesting that they're going with all these love stories on one show, almost, in a
way. Like, almost like they're trying to appeal to a more female audience, maybe a broader base of an audience, by bringing back the biggest name in wrestling today. Almost like they're trying to go somewhere. Like they're trying to appeal to millions of people all at once, and they're doing this over the course of like the next month and a half or so. Is that what it seems like to you? Because that's what it seems like to me. Like in a month and a half, they're expecting things to be huge. Am I wrong?
I mean, what am I? You're hinting at something, and I'm not picking it up.
SmackDown's moving to Fox in February.
Oh, that's right. It is in February. I forgot. I forgot it was coming that soon.
I just smacked myself in the forehead, and that hurt. Anyway, tag team champions, brand new on Raw. There's a word for them. It's not wonderful. It's not amazing. What's the word? Dan, help me out here. What's the word?
I can't think of it.
Are you serious? They're not glorious.
Oh my god, dude! I thought that happened like a month ago almost, and I completely forgot they were that. I completely forgot they won the titles.
We haven't done a show in a month, dude.
I know. That's my bad. That's why I was so confused. I was like, wait a second. But yeah, no. I think it's good to see Bobby Roode finally get a title on the main roster. I wish it would have been an individual title, but I feel like they broke him down really low, and he needs to get built back up. And I feel like this is a perfect way to do it.
Or it's a perfect way to turn him into another Sheamus and or Cesaro.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, think about it. Big name, kind of older, made his bones outside of the WWE. Boy, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Very talented, very over with the crowd, has an amazing moveset, and is relegated to a tag team wrestler. God, Claudio, I think was his name?
Yes, it was Claudio.
Yes. All right, let's move on because I'm really tired of being sarcastic. You brought it up. Let's talk about the other love triangle on SmackDown.
Bro, can I just tell you, Mandy Rose.
Believe me. And let's talk about the love triangle first. Then I got a question for you about her. Okay? Why? Why use Jey Uso? Or is it Jimmy? Which one is it?
Doesn't matter.
One of the Usos. Why that particular group? I think Rusev and Lana would have been better for this.
I do too, considering Mandy and Lana look similar.
Yeah, and especially after that promo that Rusev cut about, his animal magnetism, his machismo, which didn't seem rehearsed, kind of seemed off the cuff with the whole, stuttering kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't seem as professional as what it probably should have been. But I'm not sure that's the right couple to try to break up there. I mean, we're not exactly dealing with Edge and Vicky, I get that, but still. Or,
it's also really tough too from the same aspect, like, for one, you're right, why are they going this route? It's a very weird angle to take because I can't think of anything that would even show any type of remote close interest that he's showing in Mandy.
Especially, like, hey, here's the mistletoe. No, I ain't about that. Like, completely, by the way, dude's insane. Completely just pushing that away. Like, it would have made more sense if you want to make this angle believable that, boy, I really, I shouldn't. Oh, damn. And then, like, him kind of going for it, and that's when Naomi shows up, and then that's the fight. Because her just standing there, hey, come kiss me, seemed like an 8-year-old doing it to a little boy on the playground.
Yep. Yeah, like that's I don't get where they're going with this. Unless it's going to develop very slowly into a fact of he's going to start showing interest later on.
Either that or maybe there's a night in Milwaukee that Aiden English videotaped that we need to know about. So, did we ever see anything of that other than... Did we even see a picture? It was just a picture of her in a towel, right?
Yeah.
Lucky towel. Anyway, all right, let's talk about Mandy Rose. Now, is Corey Graves involved with her in any way, shape, or form? Or is he just being how the rest of us are with her? Like, are they...
You talking about IRL?
Yeah, and in any way, shape, or form. Because he talks of, yes, she is top 5 maybe in the world. But he talks about her like, just wow. Are they together?
No. At least not that I know of.
I'm just saying, those would be some attractive
Slightly
babies.
depressed to learn that I believe Ricochet and Tessa Blanchard broke up. And now he's dating Casey Catanzaro.
Okay. Feel like that's a downgrade. Maybe. A little bit. I don't know.
I don't know. Tessa, I mean, they're both really hot.
Yeah, it's something we're going to have to talk about off air to make sure that I don't have to rate this one R. All right. Before we get to our next topic, we're at the halfway point, so Daniel, do your thing.
Mandy Rose.
No. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'll allow it because, yes.
Let me just tell you how excited I got when, I get when.
Whoa, hey, kids there's no kids that listen to the show. Nobody listens to this show. Go ahead, but just keep it PG, would you?
I just got, it doesn't matter what it is, but, whenever because you know how she always wears that cutoff before she goes into the ring?
Sure.
I get excited every time when she takes it off.
How does your girlfriend feel about that?
I just hope that there's a wardrobe malfunction one time.
How does your girlfriend feel about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
How's yours feel about it?
Oh, she openly agrees and stares slack-jawed.
I mean, mine probably would too, but she doesn't watch wrestling.
Why are you with her? Oh, wait. She's insanely more hot than what anything else you could ever pull anywhere, anytime, so never mind. We'll move that along. Okay, women's tag team division. It's gonna be something.
Tweener.
Huh?
It's gonna be a tweener.
So, okay, that was my question. It's gonna go between both shows then.
I think so. I think that I think the first women's tag match is going to be the Iconics versus the Boston Hug Connection. And unfortunately, I think the Iconics lose.
That would be just a terrible match. I think the Iconics are overrated. I said it. And I don't feel bad about it. No, I don't.
You have no idea how bad. I just want to hit the end button on this call.
I know. But, and make no mistake, it's not from their personal appearance. That's not what I'm saying, but
You don't think they're good in the ring?
I think you had half of it right. I think it's going to be the Boston Hug Connection, but I think you're going to look at the Riot Squad.
Oh, God, no.
Are you kidding me?
They're all better as individuals. 100%.
Every wrestler is unless you're talking about B. Brian Blair, every wrestler is better as an individual than they are as a tag team. Maybe the Rougeaus aren't.
I don't think the Iconics are better as individual wrestlers.
I want to put a pencil into my ear when I hear them talk. And they're heels, so they're really good at what they do then. I mean, I don't know. I'm not as in love with them as you are.
I know.
Now, was this created because of the move to SmackDown?
I think this is something that has been in the works for a while. I think that's why they've done the Bayley Sasha team, and they've been a cohesive team for a while.
Okay. So this is not because the WWE is going to Fox. Not broadcast.
No, I don't know. I think it's wanting to expand the women's division. I feel like by 2020, so within the next year, we will also have an equal belt as far as the IC and US title for the women. I also think the brand split ends by February.
Normally, stuff like that is reserved till the Monday after Mania. But okay, I see it. All right. I'm not sure. I think February may be a little too early.
I just don't, because Fox is going to want some of these big stars on their channel that USA has. And I feel like if you're the WWE, you're going to have to give them what they want in a sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, $1 billion is nothing to sneeze at. But what stars? What stars?
Ronda, Rollins, Strowman, Lesnar. If Lesnar's making appearances, I guarantee you Lesnar makes an appearance on Fox. I guarantee you before the end of the year, Lesnar has a SmackDown appearance.
Oh yeah, probably right before WrestleMania.
Simply because of how freaking big the UFC is on FS1.
No, completely agree with you. Let me paint.
Oh, do we see more UFC WWE cohesion now that they both basically use the same network?
Maybe Bobby Lashley gets another MMA shot.
Hold on. I don't think.
Daniel, hush.
Oh God.
You've given me an idea.
Oh God.
Who is a UFC contracted performer?
Brock Lesnar.
And
not CM Punk. He was cut.
Still the relationship there. Relationship with both companies, albeit maybe not necessarily a good one. Just saying, maybe the door's opened. Maybe.
We would see CM Punk in an AEW ring before a WWE ring.
I don't think we're going to see him in any ring again.
I don't either, but I think that would be your best bet.
Maybe we'll find out. Can you imagine if they do get on TBS that first show on a Wednesday night? Cody Rhodes is in the ring thanking the fans for selling out whatever arena they're in, and all of a sudden you see CM Punk coming through the crowd. Can you imagine? We're once again, rabbit hole. Okay. We were talking about the women's tag team belts. You said the women's division is getting larger, and it is because we now have not one, but two women coming up from NXT. Does Nikki Cross go back with her brothers?
Nope.
You don't think so? She's on her own?
Nope, just like I don't think, Carmella didn't.
True, but there was also issues in a personal relationship there.
Not at first.
Okay. Yeah, because those things don't just pop up overnight. I'm telling you, there was something there.
What caused it was them being on two separate shows.
When all three of those guys and gal came up, who would have thought that Carmella would be the one to last in the company?
Not I, said the Fox.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know about you, but I thought Big Cass was going to be the next, pardon the Paul Heyman expression, big thing, and Enzo got such a push, and his stuff with Corey Graves was fantastic. And all it took was a false rape allegation to bring his career to a steady halt.
No, I think it was more than that, man. He had backstage issues, too. But I digress.
Everybody's got backstage issues.
I know, I digress.
I mean, anyway, let's talk about Lacey Evans, who I'm going to put into the rotation for the hot girl of the show, because...
Yeah, she'll be in your rotation. I don't find Lacey Evans that attractive at all.
You also like listening to the Iconics talk, too, so... Your mental faculties are in question.
Nah, I mean, I could probably go through the list of all the women's wrestlers, and guarantee you she's in the bottom quarter of it.
Really?
Yeah. You want me to do it real quick?
No, that's another show for another time. We're going to have a show full of lists. And I think it may just be a me and you show. Maybe it'll be a one-night-only special show where we just list everything. Best wrestlers. Remember that piece I did for that one company we did not speak of that got us our start? It's also in my book that you can find on Amazon. You have to buy both of them because I don't remember which one it's in. Something akin to that. We'll do that show.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. How do you like that? Let's talk about the other people that have been called up. We talked about Heavy Machinery. How about Lars Sullivan? We've been seeing promos for him for God knows how long.
He makes his appearance in the Royal Rumble.
Maybe he eliminates Braun Strowman. Well, Braun Strowman's in the main event, isn't he? Boy, that'd be a match, wouldn't it? Strowman and
that would actually be a bad match. I don't think Lars is ready. I don't think those two could carry each other.
Yeah.
I feel like they both need a little bit more work.
Boy, you think Vince McMahon hasn't thought of Lars Sullivan, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar in a triple threat at WrestleMania?
I hope not for my ticket, because I haven't bought it yet this year.
I don't think you're going to go, Dan.
Oh, no, I'm going. I have a free place to stay. 100% I'm going.
You going to buy me a ticket, too?
No. Keith Lee's in the WWE.
I really need to learn to shut my mouth. So, I mean, where do you see Sullivan in, let's say, a year? Is he in the world title picture? Mid-card?
He's where Strowman is now in a year.
Really? You think? I don't know if he's got the look for that.
If he can continue to progress as a wrestler, he will be where Strowman is. Because he will be over the way Strowman is over. Because he's just one of those guys. I'm coming to beat you up. And that's all I'm going to do.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sold on him. I think a lot of his appeal was Mauro Ranallo's voice. And Nigel McGuinness's vocabulary. And, okay, since I brought it up, if Mauro Ranallo is not the voice of the new SmackDown, Fox is doing themselves an injustice.
He will never be back on the main roster.
I'm just saying it's about time we get an actual wrestling fan to be an announcer. You know, Jim Ross was perfect at it because Jim Ross was a wrestling fan. Michael Cole has said numerous occasions he's not. You know? And who's the guy on SmackDown? What's his name? Todd Grisham?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's not Todd Grisham. Todd Grisham works for ESPN. You know who I'm talking about. You're
talking about Tom or Tim, whatever his name.
Tom, whatever his name.
The one that Jericho would always mess with.
The one that showed his dick on the airplane. Yeah. Anyway, I don't find him good to listen to. Corey Graves carries him much the same way Corey Graves kind of carries Michael Cole. Now, make no mistake, Michael Cole is great at what he does. But Michael Cole is great at what he does because he's been doing it for 2 decades. Mauro Ranallo is great because he's a wrestling fan. Thank you. And I don't know. It's just I'm not 100% sold that Fox is doing themselves a justice with Phillips and Byron Saxton on that announce table. You know?
I don't disagree with you.
I would.
But I'm looking through the roster here, dude. I'm looking through the roster. She's definitely...
Save it. Later. Maybe that'll be our next show. We'll do a top 5 of everything. That's what we're going to do. Next time you hear the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast, we're going to do top 5s. Okay, the second... Because we got to do the Jeopardy before the boards go away. Anyway, let's talk about the Royal Rumble, Daniel. Why is it a baseball stadium?
Because why not?
I mean, is it really that big? SummerSlam. SummerSlam should be...
Do I think it should be in a baseball stadium? Absolutely not.
Especially, I mean, Chase Field, beautiful. Nice. It's nice. It's okay. It's not a top 10...
I don't think they sell out that venue.
I think they already have.
There's a difference between selling it out
and filling it up. I get what you're saying. I do. But I think they should have had it somewhere else. Like, if you're going to put it in a baseball stadium, put it somewhere.
But here's the thing. I've been to a stadium show, right? Like, an outdoor stadium show, WrestleMania 2 years ago. Dude, it was brutally hot, and then it started to rain before the show started.
Well, to be fair, there's
the structures that they have to build. The structures that they have to build for these shows freaking blocks so much vision of the rings. I could send you pictures of how impaired my vision was. And nowhere on the ticket did it say I was going to have impaired vision.
Well, I mean, you don't buy a WrestleMania ticket to watch the stuff in the ring. You buy it for everything that encompasses it.
But no, see, that's where you're wrong. You're wrong from a point of if my vision's... Because I specifically didn't buy another section of tickets because it told you on the ticket, blocked views. You're going to have a blocked view of the ring.
I'm just saying, it's like, how do I want to... I'm not even sure if there's a logical comparison to it, but you don't buy a WrestleMania ticket unless you're spending $1,000 a ticket to watch the show from your seat. You buy it for the pregame. You buy it to be around the other fans, for the merchandising opportunities, for access, for everything else. That's why you buy a WrestleMania ticket to sit in section 386 in row.
Can I also just say
19?
I've wasted my money on access 2 years in a row.
It's really not that good. It looks so good on TV.
So, it looks so good on TV. I only went the second year because the guy I went with never been. The best part about it was sitting down and watching the wrestling inside of there.
Really?
The lines are unless you're buying a VIP ticket to meet somebody you absolutely super want to meet, dude, don't waste your money on that. Save it to either buy merch for someone or save it to go to a different independent show in the area if there's independent wrestlers you want to see. Because you're waiting in line for hours to get these autographs. Most of the time, when you wait in these lines, by the time you get up there, the wrestlers have changed, so you're not getting the autograph from the person you were originally waiting for anyway.
Good to know. Good to know. When you buy my ticket next year, which, let's make the bet right now. Okay? Make this bet with me. the Browns will have a better record next year than the Baltimore Ravens. If they do...
I can't make that bet until I see next year's roster.
Oh, you girl. You
I can't
girl.
make that bet until I see next year's roster.
You are such a little... There's a word for people like you.
Smart.
Hey, if you want to be a part of the show, you gotta come to the show. You can't talk crap through the door. And you can't say that because we're trying to be PG.
What's wrong with Sissy?
That's not what you said, and you and I both know it.
But that's what he is.
My girlfriend, Anna, decided to call Daniel a name of the female anatomy that is also for somebody who has no spine.
Hold on. So, what do I get if you lose this bet? Are you going to buy my Mania ticket?
God, I'm broke, dude.
So am I right now.
You had to buy me a webcam so we could continue doing this show. No, I will give you a sensual full-body massage wearing nothing but a leopard print thong on your Twitch channel.
First of all, that's TOS. Second of all...
Well, how is it TOS? I'm wearing a bathing suit.
I can't show a nipple.
I will put Band-Aids over them.
Second of all, that is... you know what? I can't even describe what just happened. Because we're trying to keep this PG.
So you weren't as excited as you get when Mandy Rose takes the cutoff shirt off of her...
No, I'm about to find I'm going to search on YouTube for an hour-long video of Mandy Rose.
And, okay, okay. I set you up. You didn't take it. Before we go on with the Royal Rumble, because we are way behind, here's your 2 minutes. Talk about the old Cleveland Browns.
Let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens.
Old Browns, go ahead.
Let's talk about how we are the king of the North.
For now.
I will say I had flashbacks of last year in that 2-minute quarter. 100% happy with how the defense played after that catch by Jarvis Landry, which, might I add, what a catch. What a catch. When I saw it in real time, I was like, it hit the ground. And then I saw the replay and I was like, he's so good.
Yeah, let's talk about that particular drive, that final drive, where 2 plays were reviewed, both of them went Cleveland's way, and both of them could have gone the other way. You can't tell me the NFL wasn't pushing for the Browns to win that football game.
So the Steelers could get in.
Not just for the Steelers to get in, but for the Browns to go from 0-16 to a winning record.
Dude, let's also talk about, regardless, I know you probably wanted to see the Browns win that game.
I mean, it was a catch-22. I couldn't lose.
Let's talk about how both of us hate the Steelers so much that the best part about that interception was watching the Steelers players' reaction while they were on the field.
I was just getting ready to say that. It killed me watching the new Browns lose to the old Browns, but watching Juju Smith-Schuster and the look of excitement turn to just complete depression, it made the loss not so bad. And, okay, I know this is your time to gloat about the old Browns, but come on.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Cleveland.
7-8-1 after 0-16.
Dude, I am so excited for Cleveland. I'm looking you in the face right now through the cam. I cannot wait to play them both games next year.
I mean, I can wait, but I'm telling you, a trip to Baltimore may be in my future. If not, you may have to come up to Cleveland with me.
Oh, I would much rather go to the Dog Pound. M&T's a beautiful stadium.
Well, the seats are $200 cheaper. I mean, you can get a Browns ticket for $20.
I don't know if you can next season, man.
You can get a Browns ticket for $20.
There is something special about Baker.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the recipe for success.
Who do you think should be your head coach next year?
I mean, Greg Williams proved that he can do the job. That being said, there's a lot of attractive names out there. I mean,
one of those names that are attractive is a name that you are very familiar with.
I was just getting to that. He's got connections to the franchise. If I know who you're talking about, he's a proven winner. He's mentored a generational type quarterback. He's got a brilliant offensive mind. We're talking about the same person, right? Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, absolutely. Marvin Lewis.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Hold on. Can we talk about the fact that Hugh Jackson got his endorsement to run the Bengals?
I mean, Hugh Jackson was his boy.
But still.
Dude, I don't care. The Bengals
dude
are
won
now the
one
Browns.
game in 2 years, and he wants him to replace him.
I saw one of the best memes ever. The Bengals are now the Browns. The Steelers are now the Bengals. The Browns are now the Steelers. And the Ravens are still the Ravens.
Oh, you mean... I'm not even... I can't. We're going to move on. Let's go back to the Royal Rumble. I think I already know...
Are you excited for the playoffs, though?
I mean...
How do you see the game shaping out this weekend?
I couldn't even tell you who's playing right now.
So you have Houston and the Colts in Houston.
Oh, man. I hope Andrew Luck has good health insurance. He's played so well this year, but Houston's going to rip them apart.
Okay. You have Seattle at Dallas.
Oh, boy, is there a way two playoff teams can both lose? So you're 0 for 2 so far. No, Dallas by default, I guess, because I mean both quarterbacks are garbage.
Hold on. Not from a personal standpoint. From a standpoint of who do you think will win?
Nobody, because I guarantee you, Troy Aikman is going to cover that game, is he not? So not only do I have to suffer through Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott comparisons, I'm also going to have to suffer through Troy Aikman.
Okay, and then you have the Chargers in Baltimore.
I like that. Phillip Rivers is probably... I mean, he absolutely should be the MVP if it isn't Drew Brees.
Yeah, I think Brees has it by a landslide.
Yeah, just because he's Drew freaking Brees, and Phillip Rivers gets overrated, even though...
He's not overrated.
Well,
he's
Phillip Rivers is the reason Drew Brees is in New Orleans. Let's just make that plain. I'm not sure that was a bad move either. I think it benefited everybody. But, oh, man. I mean, as much as I love the Browns, they're not the offense that the Chargers are. And the Ravens look very vulnerable at times. A couple of times.
You know what the Browns have that the Chargers don't?
A running game?
Good offensive line.
Yeah, but, I mean...
Think about what we did to them in San Diego. Not from an offensive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's strength against strength. And if it's going to come down to Lamar Jackson being able to run his way out of trouble. I'm not convinced he has the arm to throw his way out of trouble. But if he can get those extra 3, 5, 7 yards on a sneak or a run or a roll out and just take the first down on 3rd and 4 and get the 5 yards and get himself out of bounds or get down, and he did that better than most rookie quarterbacks. He still needs to work on it, or else he could go the path of RG3. But if he can do that, I think the Ravens win by a couple of scores. If the Charger defense shows up, it could be tough for you, Dan. It could be tough for you.
You're right. It could. And then the last game is the Bears against the Foles on Ice Miracle.
Once again, can both teams lose?
I agree with you this time.
I hate the Bears so much. The Bears.
You hate the Bears because you're a Green Bay fan? Is that why you hate them?
Okay. And I've told this story like 18 times in the last 2 weeks. The reason I am a Packers fan is because when my dad was young, 60s, 70s, 80s, the football Arizona Cardinals were the Gridbirds in St. Louis. They were the St. Louis football Cardinals. And as per every other sport, everywhere, anytime, St. Louis and Chicago hate each other. the Bears and the Cardinals were no different. My dad hated George Halas, hated Dick Butkus, hated the Super Bowl shuffle. He hated the Bears. Okay. So when the Cardinals jumped ship and Bill Bidwell decided to be the first of 2 owners to screw the city out of an NFL franchise, my dad told me, I don't care who you root for, just don't root for the Bears. Well, who's the Bears' biggest rival? Well, I think it's the Green Bay Packers. And then you got to remember, I was knee-high to a grasshopper when Brett Favre made his trek to Cheesetown. And who doesn't love themselves a little Brett Favre? I mean, my first football jersey was Seth Joyner, and then 3 weeks later, I got a Brett Favre jersey. I still have the Brett Favre jersey.
It don't fit anymore, though.
Actually, it still does. It was huge on me then. I mean, just absolutely massive. It was like a 2X, and I was maybe 8 years old. So, granted, I was wearing a large at the time. I was a big boy. Anyway, let's go back to the Royal Rumble, since we are already out of time. But let's go back, because screw time limits.
I did want to ask you one more question about football, though.
Go ahead.
Do you think Baker has a shot at winning the Rookie of the Year over Saquon?
I think he's already won Rookie of the Year.
Ah, man.
For
I love
one,
Baker, but...
he's a quarterback. For
Correct.
2, look at the improvement the Browns made from week 3 to week 17. And for
Is Tyrod still on that roster? Or did he get cut?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't even heard his name mentioned. And for 3, he's got the rookie touchdown record.
Vegas still has Saquon. Look, I can't call it, dude. I can't call the offensive rookie of the year. Period. Like, I'm not even gonna try.
I mean,
I will say, I had to shut some talk down here that I heard and hit them with the facts when people started talking about Lamar Jackson being rookie of the year.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, he's not. No way. I'm agreeing with you. I was just letting you know I was a realist, Ed. I told them they were crazy.
If he'd have played all 16 games, boy, yeah, he'd be in that conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Or he'd
be in the conversation of having a torn ACL right now.
That's true too. Boy, how bad would that be for the Ravens? Joe Flacco is all kinds of concussed and is a $100 million backup quarterback. Lamar Jackson to be on the bench with an ACL. Who's your starter then?
Nobody better than Robert Griffin III.
Whew.
Is it weird that I have confidence in all 3 of the quarterbacks on our roster to call a manageable game?
Is it weird that Robert Griffin III and Tyrod Taylor... Didn't Taylor start with Baltimore?
Yeah. I think Tyrod and Flacco were both drafted the same year, if I remember correctly. Tyrod just rounds later.
Kind of got traded for each other through Buffalo, didn't it? I mean, it kind of seems that way. Both are now backup quarterbacks who can always remember the glory that they kind of once had. Yeah. That's crazy. Anyway, can we get back to the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just keep talking sports? Because, I mean, St. Louis got the NHL All-Star Game in 2020. Dallas got the Winter Classic, and it's probably going to be the Blues to play there, too. They're a tanking team that may wind up imploding by the year's end. And
no, we're good. We can
hold on.
To the Royal Rumble.
How did we not talk about Antonio Brown? Just quitting. Like, we should be celebrating this, Daniel. I mean, you heard about this, right?
I heard that
him blowing up on... He blew up on Ben Roethlisberger during practice after being told to rerun the route.
Didn't he call him a somethingist? A fat somethingist?
I'm not sure the ist he referred to, but I'm pretty sure... Does it have to do with a bathroom in some way?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then... How do you not answer the Rooney's phone call? Like, I'm sorry, but if the owner of my team calls me, probably going to answer that phone call. Nope. Nobody. Didn't answer anybody's call. Shows up on Sunday expecting to play. Like everything, oh, hey guys, haven't seen you in 4 days. No idea what the game plan is. Don't like the quarterback. Blew up on him in public. Haven't been in the locker room. And I know some of you all really hate me and I make way more money than you, and I'm not earning it, but hey, let's go play some football for our playoff lives. Dude! Where does he wind up next year? Because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be in Pittsburgh.
Imagine Pittsburgh's not going to have, and I don't think he's in Pittsburgh. Ben or him is not in Pittsburgh. Whether Ben decides to retire or not is a different story.
Just think, the big three in Pittsburgh last year won't be on the team next year. Ben retires. AB, I don't want to say he gets cut. They'll trade him. And Le'Veon Bell gets cut. That's how that's going to roll.
Well, yeah, you're right. Le'Veon is probably getting cut. You would have to assume. Unless AB is just done, and they're just like, well, we're keeping Bell.
No. Why would they keep him?
That happens, though.
$20 million to have him not show up.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm so happy the Steelers are going to be bad. Just so bad.
Remember, it was the 4 Bs. That's all we ever heard on Primetime Sports. Boswell, Ben, Brown, and Bell.
Yeah, no. Bye-bye. See what I did there?
I think Boswell could get cut, too, because he had a bad season as well.
Hey, I don't care. I'm just so stoked that maybe, and you know what, it's a pipe dream. And being the fact that I live in the Pittsburgh metro area, it's probably more of a fantasy than anything else. Maybe the Pirates are the best team in Pittsburgh. I so want the Penguins to just be god-awful, and the Steelers to just be so bad.
I can't disagree with you.
I hate them both so much. Anyway, Royal Rumble. I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you excited for Brock and Braun 18? Yeah, that's what I thought. Are you excited for AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan 12? 10? Something like that? Are you excited for that one?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's like a 6.
And then I'm assuming Brock and Braun is a 0, and
Brock and Braun is a 2.
Okay, and who am I thinking of? Okada Omega would be like 10?
Okada Omega would be like 8.
What? Just curious on your scale. What's a 10?
As far as an excitement level?
Sure.
Anything refreshing that would actually be good. A Finn, a Demon Balor versus a Brock, a Demon Balor versus a Daniel Bryan or an AJ.
So in other words, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, not really tickling your fancy.
Nope. I wouldn't even let that come near me. Tickle me.
What if it was something refreshing, but something from our past? Something we've never seen in the WWE before, but we've seen.
AJ Joe?
Maybe.
Well, we've seen that in WWE, actually.
EC3 and Bobby Roode throwing 2 other guys, making a tag team match. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Maybe, I don't know.
Does EC3 come out number 3?
Boy, that's only if Ty Dillinger's still 10.
Coming out number 10, right? Like, he's got to come out 10 again this year, right? 3 years in a row?
He has to. Like, that's his thing.
Or is that his heel turn? He comes out at number 11.
Man, can you imagine the boos? I mean,
oh, yeah, whoever comes out 10, if it's not Dillinger, is getting booed.
Maybe that's where Lars Sullivan gets it. Maybe that's how he gets the rest of his cheap heat.
Probably.
That'd be... Whew.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
You know what we're doing? You were talking about finding yourself? We're finding ourselves. You remember the first few episodes? What did we do? Fantasy booking.
Yep.
Welcome back, Daniel. Either Royal Rumble match. Are you excited for either one of them? We've seen several participants being named.
Royal Rumble always excites me because I have this excitement, like, what was it, 2 years ago, the excitement for the possibility of Omega.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's what I'm more excited about. It's not for the action. It's not for...
It's for the who's showing up.
It's 3 things. It's who's showing up, who gets the most eliminations, and how does Kofi avoid getting eliminated.
Yes.
I mean...
The Women's Rumble, I feel like because that's so much newer that I am genuinely excited for that.
But why? There's nothing really, I mean...
Like, we know that the number 30 is not winning the Royal Rumble for the men this year.
Our truth. Okay, how long does he survive? Because I'm saying it's going to be 10 seconds. Because it's 1 second in the ring, 7 seconds for his dance break, and then 2 seconds for two guys to grab him by his pants and throw him over the top rope. Fair?
I feel like that's a waste of the most important spot.
That absolutely is. Unless he loses it in a match. He loses it in a match before the Rumble.
I mean, that could happen.
Like the SmackDown before.
Was that a way for them to just give Mella the 30th spot?
Yeah, like...
Do you think Mella gets another big push?
I don't know. There's so many good women. I mean, you're bringing up Nikki Cross, too, who should go right into the main event scene somewhere. I mean, because she's not a tech...
The issue with Nikki Cross is her English.
Yeah, but you know what?
I think Asuka speaks better English than Nikki Cross.
But if they let Becky talk as much as she does, what's wrong with giving her a freaking manager? Paul Ellering's not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, I don't know. We're going into fantasy booking again. We don't need to. What legends are going to come back? I'm assuming we're going to see Beth Phoenix, Trish Stratus, Lita, those names that we've already seen before, the ones that appeared at Evolution, they're probably going to be in the Royal Rumble, right? Just to fill out the 30.
Will we see Melina? Do you think Melina's a possibility?
Man. I don't know. If we do, I want to see Joey Mercury.
Eminem.
Oh, yeah. Like, somebody's missing. Like, just for them to do that thing, kind of wink at John Morrison. Or, you know, have them two interact backstage. And then, like, The Miz go and... Yeah, somebody is missing, you know? Like, just that little hint. I think that'd be kind of cool. But, I mean, I don't know. Tori Wilson, Stacy Keibler, Wendy Richter, maybe. I mean, somebody needs to take...
I think we're going to see some more... Obviously, we're going to see some more NXT girls. Maybe we'll see some NXT UK. Maybe they'll try to get some of them on the map this year.
I mean, maybe. It's possible.
I have a feeling... I have a feeling we will see Pete Dunne.
Probably. Just because he's an indie darling. And let's make no mistake, he is. But, I mean, speaking on the Women's Royal Rumble, your best 4 women are not going to be in it because they're going to be in the title matches. So now you have maybe 14, 16 women from both shows. You got 14 spots to fill. Maybe. And that's being charitable if you put people like Lana in there, who's a quasi-wrestler. You know? There's going to be a lot of surprises. There is. You can't deny that.
I don't think the surprises are going to... I feel like a lot of our surprises are going to be current talent.
I don't know.
Like it's going to be more current talent than former talent.
Maria Menounos, she'll be in it. I think you may see a celebrity or two. I'm telling you, we're going to see names from the past.
Shayna Baszler. I think Shayna Baszler.
Oh, yeah. Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, they're going to be in there. I'm just saying. Oh, whatever. You like... Anyway, let's move on.
We know I have a thing for girls from down under, mate.
Yeah, I'm aware. I mean, the male side looks pretty stacked. Who do we see out? What legends show up there? There can only be a spot for maybe 2 or 3. I mean, who do you see? DDP?
It's me. It's me.
It's D.
Hey!
Love that guy.
No, wasn't he just in it last year?
Why not be in it this year? Dude's in phenomenal shape.
I don't think we see him again this year.
How about Goldberg? Do we see Goldberg?
No.
Maybe, I mean, The Rock? Promoting his new show?
I don't think so.
Boy, can you imagine that pop? Number 26. Do you smell? By the time the E comes out of the PA system, the place is going to go bonkers.
I feel like if we see him in the ring again, it'll be a Mania.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, show stealer, right?
Potentially, yes. It has the best potential to steal the show on there. But isn't a show stealer if we expect it to steal the show? That's why I say potentially.
Okay.
Because what else is it going up against that could possibly steal the show? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? I can't even think. I mean, Rusev and
maybe AJ Debray.
I don't
That's
know.
the only thing. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because you're talking about two really good freaking technical wrestlers.
I'm sorry, but this version of Debray is not a version I can get on. You know,
I absolutely. I didn't think I would mind heel Brian, and I absolutely hate it.
Like when he was the misogynist berating AJ Lee and you know the no stuff. Yeah, I got behind that heel Daniel Bryan because that's
he was he a heel?
Yeah, he was a
You see
heel.
my thing, you see my point. Like, was he a heel?
He was a heel in the same sense CM Punk was a heel. He was a heel in the same sense that Edge was a heel. They were so far over, the crowd booed them because they knew they were supposed to boo them. But by the time the promo or segment was over, they were being cheered.
I think this is the best heel version of Daniel Bryan that we've got, though.
No. No. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Let's talk about one show stealer before we start getting toward the end of things. Dolph Ziggler. Boy, he's getting jobbed something crazy, isn't he? He's getting the Jeff Hardy push from a decade and a half ago.
It's the Ziggler cycle, man.
I'm just saying, like,
Ziggler cycle. He's on top for a while, and then he's gonna get back from the bottom.
He's getting fed to Drew McIntyre.
Oh, fed might be an understatement.
I mean, that was just brutal, that cage match. Like, maybe he's putting his dues in now. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble. I mean,
that would be a shock.
Can you imagine him winning the Royal Rumble, going to WrestleMania, and then having McIntyre beat down Braun for him winning it? Now we have a heel Dolph Ziggler with McIntyre back behind him, only for that split to happen again. And those two have the world title.
Who's your favorite to win the Rumble right now?
My heart says John Cena winning the 17th championship to break Ric Flair's record at a WrestleMania.
I have a random fact for you that I learned yesterday.
What's that?
Who is the most winningest champion in WWE history?
Now, does this include NWA and WCW and ECW? Is this all-encompassing?
It does not include NWA.
But it includes WCW.
And ECW.
Is it just main titles?
Nope.
RVD?
No.
It ain't Bruno.
It's a guy you cannot quote.
What?
Quote the Raven. Nevermore.
No way. Really? You're going to have to show me where you learned that, because I don't believe those numbers at all.
Unofficially, it's 39. He's won 39 titles.
Main title. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's so wrong.
Not main titles.
Just titles in general.
Yep. Between tag titles, hardcore titles.
Okay, if you want to go that route, I'm pretty sure Crash Holly won the hardcore championship like 23 times on his own.
Raven said it in a video I was listening to, and I looked it up, and it's true.
No, I don't even know where my phone's at, but we're gonna talk when this show is over.
You are so
mind screwed right now.
Mind blown right now.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just no way. He is not. No way. I don't believe it. Let's end the show. Do you have a fighter match of the show that we should watch for besides the playoffs this weekend? Anything else we should watch besides the Final Impact? Besides Impact Homecoming back to the Asylum? Anything else we need to watch?
I don't have a fight you should watch for. What I do think you guys should watch for, though, is follow along with this AEW news. This is something that we should all be very, very happy about and interested in learning about as wrestling fans. Because I don't think it can hurt us in any way. I think it's nothing but help.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Okay. Sure, why not? Did we miss anything?
We did not miss anything, but man, there's a lot that we need to talk about.
Kind of like we need to do another show with Jaime tomorrow. Oh, can't do it tomorrow. Can't do it Friday.
Yeah.
Can't do it Saturday. Sunday's open.
Possibly Sunday after the games. Possibly.
Why not during the games? Live reactions.
I mean, I'm cool with it, but the game's going to be on in the background.
It'd have to be evening. We'll talk about this off air. This is interesting radio. Anyway, you want to promote yourself? No? Whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Danny Bananas. Go to www.twitch.tv/Danny Bananas. Give me a follow on there. If you have Amazon Prime, link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You can sub to your favorite streamer free once per month, whether that's me or another content creator on the platform. Just be sure to use that. Any content creator is going to really appreciate that.
And you never know when or what mask I'm going to wear on any particular show.
Very true. He has worn multiple masks.
Hey, Dan, did you know I did something for Amazon? I wrote a book. In fact, I wrote 4 books. Do you know they're on Amazon?
Wait, and so you mean I can use my Amazon Prime membership to get your book shipped in 2 days? And I can link that same Amazon Prime membership to my Twitch account and subscribe to my favorite streamer once per month for free?
Oh, not only that, but you can buy each and every title under my name as an ebook to take with you anywhere you want, to read on any screen you want. You can find those only at Amazon.
Wait, if I have Amazon Prime, that means I have an Audible membership as well.
They are not audiobooks yet. I don't like my voice enough to do this show, let alone to read my own stuff.
I was trying to just keep it going.
I know. It was a good effort. Anyway, if you're ever in southeastern Ohio, go ahead and pick up a Crossroads magazine where you can find me a monthly contributor to the magazine, which comes out once a month on the first of the month. And you can find famous Ohioans in sports, where this month, for the month of February, it'll be none other than the general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers and former Browns and Cardinals general manager, Branch Rickey, the man that made Jackie Robinson happen. You can find out all of that in Crossroads magazine. Also, if you're in Noble County, you can pick up a copy of the Journal of Noble County Leader. Turn to page 9 and 10, maybe even 11 as well, where you can find my work. I am the sports desk for Noble County, covering Caldwell and Shenandoah High School. You can also find me on Twitter. That's Ed, A-T-T-H-E Journal. That's Ed at the Journal. You can find me on Twitter there. You can also stay tuned. A bunch of big things coming. There may be 2 other podcasts in the works. We are still working on things. Dan will talk about those plans later. But if you're in and around Southeast Ohio, be sure to look me up. I'm not quite a big deal yet. All right, Daniel. Any last words?
Thank you guys for tuning in, and I promise we will get more of these out than we did last year.
All righty. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast, Danny Bananas has 2 words for you.
Keep listening.